further.
Poor mouse!
Looks like it ain't working.
Holy shit!
All ultras up. Dino 4 is RTB.
Shredder on top of the building. Downed him. Finished him.
Never saw it coming, you bet you will.
Caliber rounds.
I'm not replacing that window.
Fucker.
Finish him.
I did.
Finish
him.
I did. That's amazing.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, how many operators? What do you need to set up for
asked me, now that he's finished Intro Wars, what should Verbal set up next as a collaborative stream with his friends? Verbal RD should definitely set up a Warhammer 40k painting stream next.
No,
I mean, who wouldn't want to watch a bunch of old farts trying to paint tiny figurines without their reading glasses on? Right? It's going to be a masterpiece, I tell you.
Listen here, fucker. Listen here. All right? I got him. Because I need him. Damn! Hey, there we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Everything is wonderful. Everything is great. Everything works so well. So well. I'm back. I gotta fix that font. I don't like that font. So... let me see. Is this the right one? No. What is going on here? Why doesn't this want to work correctly? That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Can you guys hear music, by the way? I can't hear anything right now. I can't hear anything at all. Okay, I'm super quiet. Okay, I shouldn't be super quiet anymore. Hi. So, hold on here. Let me see. Why do this not do the thing that I want it to do with the stuff that I wanted to do it with? There we go. Apply. Mic sounds good now. Music's up. Good. Good. I am still fixing stuff. There is still a lot broken. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that right now. There's still a lot broken. I'm in the process of still fixing it. This has been an ordeal, okay? So let me explain. Okay, hold on. I'm fixing this. I'm going to fix this. That needs to go to that, which means side audio should be going out to the stream, but not to me. It's alive! It's alive! Yes, it is. Stuff is still broken. So, I don't know how long this stream is going to go for. I don't know what we're going to do tonight. I threw in Poppy Playtime as a possible maybe. By the way, happy Halloween. Here is, I've been talking about it for a while. You get Mercer. Good evening. I don't know why I don't have my assistant speaking. Or I guess I don't have my assistant speaking in the scene. All right, I'm all confabulated. Let me start from the beginning. First off, I don't know why this is the way that it is. I'm gonna have to fix the font over here on chat because this is not the right font. So last Friday we played Poppy's Playtime Chapter 3, right? Everything was good. Shut down the stream. Peak, right? And then Saturday did Saturday morning cartoons. And which brain did I get? Abby Normal? Yeah, that's it. Abby Normal. Alex Mercer game name prototype? Oh, okay, gotcha. So Saturday morning I did Saturday morning cartoons, right? After Saturday morning cartoons, I needed to do some work out in the garage. I needed to clear off like a workbench area, and why isn't that hiding? Anyway, needed to clean off my workbench area out in the garage because I was working on this thing. So I spent like 2 hours. I came in here, I turned on my computer, because I was planning on doing stuff on my computer after I got done with that. I spent 2 hours out in the garage working on cleaning everything up, right? Got done cleaning everything up, came in here, I sat down. Russia? No, I'm not Russia. I came in here, I sat down, and on my main screen, it said, it had the ROG logo, which is my motherboard, and it said press delete or F2 to enter BIOS. And I was like, well, shoot. Let me try doing delete. Delete didn't get me into the BIOS. I was like, all right, F2. F2 didn't get me into BIOS. So I was like, all right, well, maybe it's because of the fact I have a wireless keyboard. Let me try connecting a wired keyboard to my computer. Maybe the drivers didn't load or the USB dongle's not working right or whatever the case may be. Let me try a wired keyboard. So I hooked up a wired keyboard and restarted, and I've restarted this machine at this point in time several times, right? So, I mean, I must have restarted, all in all, I think I restarted this computer like 30 times. Easy. So I haven't tried hitting it. That makes your computer work. I got close. I got really, really close. So I hooked up the wired keyboard and I rebooted the machine and it came up to the ROG screen again and pressed delete or F2 to log in. So I tried hitting delete. I tried hitting F2. Nothing responded. And I was like, all right, what the shit is going on? So I was like, okay, let me try Control-Delete. See what happens when I hit Control-Delete. So I hit Control-Delete and the computer rebooted. So I was getting input from the keyboard. So that's when I started Googling. And I'm like, all right, what is my problem? What is happening? Here's my motherboard model number. Here's the error that I'm getting. Google, tell me what's happening. So Google's like, I found a Reddit page where somebody was talking about this exact problem, this exact same problem. And I was like, all right, what were their solutions? How they fix this? And they're like, well, one person said, well, I had to unplug all my USBs and then restart the machine, and that worked. And I was like, all right, I have a lot of USBs. Let's restart the machine. So I unplugged all of my USBs, all my cameras, all my, I unplugged every USB I had except for the wired keyboard that I was running, because obviously you had to have an input device, right? So wireless keyboard, everything. What the shit did I just do here? What did I do? I killed a screen somewhere. Hold on, give me a second. Stuff is still broken. Things are still breaking. Open this. Oh no. No. Go back. Stuff is still breaking. I'm still in the process of fixing things. Open scene projector into that one. There we go. Okay. All fixed now. All fixed. So, where was I? Oh, unplugged all my USB devices, right? All of them. Restarted the machine. Still came up with the RG screen, still saying to hit delete or F2. I was like, all right, well, that didn't work. What's next? So someone's like, well, I had to disconnect my SSDs in order to get it to, and when I rebooted, then it worked. And I was like, all right. So I had 2 SSDs inside of the computer and 2 M2 drives directly on the board. So I unplugged the SSDs, the 2 SSDs. They just contained game data. It wasn't anything big. And rebooted, nothing happened. I then also went in and took out the second non-operating system M2 that was on my motherboard. I was like, all right, the only thing that's left is the hard drive that I need to run this computer. Meanwhile, just so you understand, each time that I went into my computer physically inside of the case to do something, I had to remove my video card to get to stuff. So every time, keep that in mind. Rebooted, nothing happened. No change. And then I read further down in the post, and like someone was like, well, I had to disconnect my CMOS battery, and that reset my BIOS. Because somebody else above was saying, like a couple threads above that was saying, well, go in and like update your BIOS or like reset your BIOS. And it's like, you can't get into the BIOS. That's the problem. You can't. If I could have gotten into the BIOS, I could have done more, but I couldn't get into the BIOS. So like, pull your CMOS battery, wait like 5 minutes, pop it back in. That should reset your BIOS back to defaults. That should work. So I did that. Again, I had to take out my video card. So I pulled the CMOS battery, waited 5 minutes, popped it back in, started up the machine. Same thing. Press delete or F2 to enter the BIOS. And I was like, well, shit. This is no good. So I kept reading through the thread, and somebody else said, I did all of these steps. I followed all of these, suggestions. It turned out that my motherboard was borked, and I needed to replace my motherboard. And I'm like, no. I felt like freaking what's his face from The Office. No, God, no, God, please, God, no. That's what I felt like. So that was pretty much, yeah, Michael Scott, thank you. That was pretty much exactly, I'm figuring what I had to do. Because there was nothing else I could do. There's nothing else that I could do. Sorry, I'm still trying to fix a couple things as I'm like doing stuff here, so I apologize. There's nothing else that I could do. I already tried everything. I unplugged all my USB. I removed every hard drive that I had in the computer except for the main hard drive. I couldn't even get into the BIOS to see if that hard drive was even being seen by the motherboard or not, because I couldn't get into the BIOS. So I was like, fuck it. I've been talking about needing to upgrade my computer for a long time. Anybody who's been here on this channel hanging out with me has heard my complaints every time that my stream crashes or something else happens, or the fact that I gotta reboot my machine every time before I started streaming. Like, there was always a problem, and I've been needing to upgrade this computer. I was stuck on Windows 10 because my motherboard didn't support secure boot, so therefore I could not upgrade to Windows 11. Like, you all heard this day in and day out, every time something happened, I complained about needing to upgrade my computer. Well, I didn't have a choice. So that's what I did. I got on to Newegg that night, and I placed an order for a new processor, a new motherboard, and new RAM, which is what I needed. Everything else on my computer is fine. Hard drives are good, the video card is good, the case is good, capture card is good. But if I was replacing the motherboard, I was going to take myself from an AM4 to an AM5 processor, so that at least I was on current generation processors. And in order to do that, I was going to have, like, I could have gotten a motherboard that was the exact same as my old motherboard, or something that was an AM4 platform, and I could have just bought the motherboard itself, swapped everything over, and I probably would have been okay. But I would have been on the last generation processors. And I'm figuring, if I have to do this, if I'm being forced to do this, I might as well, you know, get on current generation processors, because those last generation ones are getting harder to find, and they're also, you know, creeping up in price because they're not making them anymore, and, you know, all that other good stuff. So, motherboard, RAM, brand new CPU, and that all arrived on Wednesday. Monday we did the stream from the rec room. Remember, I put together the Game Boy. The Lego Game Boy. We had a lot of fun, actually. It was still a good night. Like, it wasn't a total waste. It was still a good night. Just so I know, there's a slightly static sound in the background. Yes, I know I know what that is. That's my heater. And I haven't gotten the one filter in place because I have to do a test run to get the parameters for the filter. So I'm aware of the hiss. So that all arrived on Wednesday. I immediately set on... Yeah, we watched Super Mario Brothers from 1993. We watched The Wizard from 1985, I think it was, or whatever. It was a good time that we had. It was a good time. But it was all done from, like, the Saturday morning cartoon setup. So Wednesday the parts arrived, and immediately I got on to swapping out parts, which was fun, to say the least. It's like half building a computer at that point. You know what I mean? It's half building. It's not even fully building. It's half building. It was the friends we made along the way. It was the friends we made along the way and the Lego Game Boy. So I like half built a computer, and then the CPU came with the free AIO. An MSI AIO cooler for the CPU. So this is the first time I've had an AIO in my computer. I've been pondering getting one for a while now. I just hadn't pulled the trigger. I don't like full liquid cooling because I don't like the idea of having all, you know, a liquid tank somewhere in my case that could potentially spring a leak or whatever, plus all the custom routing for water. I'm like, AIOs are a little bit more secure. They're a little bit more proven. I don't think that they do any better in cooling or any worse in cooling. If anything, I eliminated a fan, and that was my CPU fan. I no longer have a CPU fan. I now have a water cooler block on top of my CPU. So I don't know that it's going to do any better or any worse in cooling, but it came free. So I was like, fuck it. We're going to put on an AIO. So I had that new experience of setting that up. which was fun. Don't get me wrong. I cannot kill that. It's all my fans! So I just gotta pay attention to things that are happening. So, someone say fans? The fans have already happened. So I got everything put back together. I started loading up the operating system. I'm on Windows 11 now. I am running. I got the motherboard that I got is stupidly ridiculous. It has 9 USB-A ports on the back of the motherboard. 5 of them are 10 gig USB 3.2 ports. Right? I have 3 USB-C ports on the back of my computer, and each one of those are 40 gig ports. So think like Thunderbolt cabling. It'll pass data through there with no problem whatsoever. The Ethernet port that is on this motherboard is a 5 gig Ethernet port. I have 2 gig internet running into the house. I don't even have the wiring yet in this office to handle more than a gig worth of speed, and I have a 5 gig Ethernet port sitting in this motherboard. And then the processor I got was a Ryzen 7 9800X3D. One of the ones that I've been looking at for a while. One of the ones that apparently is a super workhorse processing unit. My specs right now are running really great. To be completely honest with you, this is the best that my computer has run ever. Ever. Here, now I lost my zoom in feature, so bear with me for the moment, okay? But here, and my camera is weird. I also lost the little frame that I had here, so things I have to fix, okay? Things I have to fix. But if you look here, OBS Studio is only running 2 things. OBS Studio used to run 58 freaking Explorer windows. And it was running typically at 60 some odd % of my CPU. This thing isn't even blipping at this point. It's not even blipping right now. So this is already worlds above what I was running before. If you look at there's my CPU running right now. I had a Ryzen 9, I forget what it was, a Ryzen 9 5800 or something like that, and it was a 16-core processor. This is an 8-core processor, and it's running at 5.2 gigahertz right now. And look how little the CPU is being used. And then additionally, the GPU. The GPU, my 4060 is running at 73%. So this is running stupid. Now I am using 18 gig of my 32 gig of RAM. I will at some point in time up that a little bit further. I used to have 64 gig of RAM, so I will probably update this at a later point in time when I can afford to get more RAM. But this is running already so much better than the previous incarnation was. So yeah, this has been kind of my week. My week has been frantically trying to get everything put back together, up and running as quickly as possible. And like I said, not everything is fixed yet. Not everything works. So I'm hoping you guys have been testing things out. Obviously, I don't have the sound in my ear, and I don't know why. Actually, I know why, but I also don't know why. So I'll look at fixing that part. And okay, I heard that. I heard the tonight nope, that's not happening. That's not happening. But tinnitus. Tonight. I should stop. That's not going. Rhea! How are you doing, my friend? Am I winning? Well, I'm back. I don't know about winning. So by the way, there's the costume. There's the prototype pack. I've been working on this too. Stu and you gave out candy to kids while cooking burgers. That's amazing. That's amazing. So the pack, it lights up. It lights up. This is the Spangler one. It's been attached completely. The other nice thing about this entire setup is I can do this. I have music I can play. I have music that I can play. The only thing that I have an issue with is after 60 seconds of no activity, the Spangler wand will automatically shut down, right? When this shuts down, it shuts down the pack. Now, I can still be playing the music when the pack isn't lit up, but if I want the constant humming and whatnot, there is a mod I can do to the Spangler wand called the Keep Alive mod. And it's a little circuit board, but I have to do like 7 points of solder. Like I have to basically tear this thing apart, get into the circuitry, do 7 points of soldering to attach wires so that it'll connect to the board, and then fit everything back inside. And then it will bypass the shutdown mode and keep this thing up and running until I decide to shut it off. So I'm not exactly all the best at soldering. Maybe that's something I look at in the future. Not right now. I'm just happy enough that I've got this wand connected to this pack. Now, my only other issue is just a simple fact of trying to get this to go back on the track is quite tricky. Bustin' makes me feel good. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, getting that back on the track is a little tricky. So now I do have. So there's a little hook here, and I have the key fob, so I can just hook it to my hip and hang it there. But yeah, this pack, I replaced all the electronics on the inside. I've 3D printed a number of things. You're a ghost? You're a ghost? If you're a ghost, I've got something for you. Welcome to the street. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. There's still a number of things that I want to do to this, and I'm going to try to put this back on here again. I got it like once with a little bit of assistance. Ooh, wait, that kind of feels good. That kind of feels... Nope. That kind of felt good for a second. See, I feel like I'm on it. I'm on the V-hook. I'm just not at the right... I'm just not at the right angle or something. I don't know. But anyway, there's still a number of things I want to do to this pack. Still a number of things I want to print off. Or if I can't print it myself, I got to order it. There are lenses for the cyclotron that I want to get. I'm still trying this. I know it's an expensive shoulder. Nope, that's not it either. If I could see this better, because you see that little thing right there? See that little thing right there? That right there? That I have to get this to go over top of. And I have a feeling like the more that I do this, the more I'll get used to like where it needs to be positioned in order to... Look, there's a reason why you never saw them holster these things again in the movies. There's a reason. So I'm just gonna take it off and holster it properly. Look, I know it's an expensive shoulder. I'm aware of how expensive that shoulder is. See there, I did it. First try. But yeah, I 3D printed a bunch of stuff for it. I got the Alice frame on here, so this thing is amazing. I'm very happy with it. We had a lot of fun tonight. Trick-or-treating with the kids. I need to get a new stand for it so it'll sit. You like my Ghostbuster costume? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to be looking at, I know that there's a South Central Pennsylvania Ghostbusters Club that covers my area that I may, I haven't decided yet, I may end up joining. We'll see. They do kind of like a lot of events, charity events, and like appearances and stuff like that. Apparently they have an Ecto 1, so that's kind of cool. And, yeah, it might just be a good group of people to get involved with. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I've been looking for a new group to get involved with since I left roller derby. Something to keep me active, you know what I mean? And this is a pretty good hobby. Like I'm enjoying. I enjoy this so far. So much so that I have discovered that there is a 3D printable file set out there that I can print and make the real Ghostbusters cartoon proton pack, wand, PKE meter, and ghost trap. And there's even a bill of materials of like what is the best filaments to use on that printer to get it as close as possible to the cartoon coloration. And to top everything else off, a couple years ago, Spirit Halloween sold the real Ghostbusters flight suits. Might be able to find one still. If I can find Spangler's baby blue with the pink collar and the pink cuffs, I will absolutely rock a Spangler costume. I will find a blonde wig that gives a little pompadour like Spangler had, and pink glasses, and I will rock the Spangler look with you know a little. Yeah, I gotta have a little me there. But that will probably be like my next like year-long project. Is going to be printing off and assembling the real Ghostbusters proton pack and accessories from the cartoon. I think that would be a blast. Like, even so much as the wand has the big yellow button on it that you see them press to activate their neutrino wands. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too good. This is too good not to. This makes excuse me. This makes the 10-year-old me so happy. Like, this makes the 10-year-old me so happy. But seeing that somebody has created the files and I can print off a real Ghostbusters, you know, blue proton pack, it's so good. I wanted one of those when I was little. When you were younger, you didn't like the Spirit Halloween store? Younger? How younger? The Spirit Halloween hasn't been around for that. How long has Spirit Halloween been around for? You say younger, and I'm thinking like my kind of younger. Halloween. From the dawn of time. I know they always come in and take over the corpse of a former store. Origin. Here we go. Okay, Spirit Halloween was founded. Well, shit. Alright. I stand corrected. Spirit Halloween was founded in 1983, 42 years ago. And I'm assuming that Egg Harbor Township in New Jersey is where their first store was, because that's where their headquarters is. 16,000 stores, or excuse me, 1,600 stores only during the fall. Parent company Spencer Gifts with the subsidiary of Spirit Christmas, which I'm really hoping we get a Spirit Christmas around here this year. That's what I'm hoping for. I saw the test stores last year, and I'm thrilled. I really want to Spirit Halloween around us. You don't like animatronics? That's fair. Animatronics can be kind of creepy in their own right, and Spirit Halloween makes them super creepy. So yeah, no, that's fair. I understand that. I get that. But yeah, no, the 10-year-old in me is absolutely thrilled that I'm in a Ghostbusters uniform, that I have a proton pack that is fairly accurate, even with all the extra bits and bobs that I put onto it, making it more accurate. I am absolutely thrilled. My plan is, I have some more things to attach to this, and the plan is, once I get the other pieces that I need, I'm going to strip this entire pack down, take off all of the cabling and all of the, the stickers, and mask off the couple pieces that I have already painted that I don't want to ruin the texture of, and I'm gonna primer the whole thing, and then repaint it so it's a fresh paint, and then I'm gonna do like weathering on it and whatnot, and put the extra pieces on and finish the upgrade on this pack and kind of really make this like mine. Like I have a plan, I have an idea in my head of what this pack is going to look like, but I need to kind of take it down to a base first. So I'm going to primer this entire sucker, primer it all gray, except for, like I said, the couple pieces that I have already attached that I did paint, that I like how the paint turned out, that I'm going to leave that alone. And then just repaint it to black, do all the weathering to it that I want to do. Do weathering to my jumpsuit here, so that this uniform looks more worn. Not necessarily like, really dirty, but it looks like it's been lived in. It looks like it's been used. That's what I want this to look like. So like there'll be like I don't want to say dirt markings, but I guess that's the best description on like all of the seams. Everywhere that there's a raised space on this costume, anywhere that there's like a zipper or anything like that. Not necessarily slime stains. I don't want to do the slime stains per se, but I want that, how like there's like mechanic overalls, and even though no matter how many times that you wash it, like here on the edge of this seam, it always looks dirty and grimy. I found a really great video that showed using a mixture of chalkboard paint and water, doing a 50-50 blend for clothing, and you just kind of lightly hit areas with it, and when it dries, because it's that chalkboard paint, so it's that kind of gritty, grimy, texture to the paint, it'll add the depth that you want to the jumpsuit. So maybe coffee stains on the jumpsuit. Maybe coffee stains. When you imagine Ghostbuster tools, you imagine the Poltergeist 3000. Are you talking from Filmation's Ghostbusters? Are you talking Filmation's Ghostbusters? It's like the red vacuum that flashes and turns ghosts and then sucks them up. That sounds like Filmation's Ghostbusters. Your poor facility hoodie after a transmission chip detector pull. Yeah, like I don't want like huge stains of like dirt and whatnot across it. I want to make it look like it's been used, it's seen action. So like, especially like around the cuffs and whatnot, the cuffs will get a little bit dirtier. The cuffs down near the boots will get a little bit more dirty. Like, any place that's raised or someplace, like I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper and kind of hit the shoulders. Oh, the Luigi's Mansion. Gotcha. That's a good one. I like that. Luigi's Mansion is a good game. But like where the straps go across here, I'm going to take some sandpaper to that and kind of like fray the edges a little bit, make it look worn. Maybe add a little extra, grime here at the shoulder pads where they come across. That's what I'm basically looking to do. Maybe add like a little bit of a ringer in the collar a little bit, so that it looks like you've sweated your ass off and been working in this suit. I don't want the suit to look so crisp and so fresh. I want it to look like it's been used, like it's seen some action. That's what I want it to look like. but nothing that looks like I just kind of rolled around in an engine for the past day and a half. I don't want anything like that. So, Poltergeist 3000 is a red poltergeist model invented by the old man Professor Egad. Professor Egad, I love that so much. Yeah, the Luigi Mansion games are actually really, really good. And then I have plans to make a belt gizmo that's going to also be a phone holder, so that if I do get involved in a club or something like that, and we're ever doing an event, I have some place to actually store my phone instead of keeping it in like tonight I was keeping it in the chest pocket here. But I can disguise it as the belt gizmo that you see them wear in the first and second movie, and Afterlife and Frozen Empire. But it'll look like the belt gizmo, but it'll actually be a disguised phone holder. So I have lots of plans for lots of upgrades and things that I would like to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going out tomorrow to Spirit Halloween, because tomorrow starts the 25% sale, and Sunday is their 50% sale, and then they're gone. So I'm going to go out tomorrow after cartoons to see if they have. I'm on the lookout for a PKE meter. I want to pick up the PKE meter. If they happen to have their ghost traps still available, and if there's enough of them that I think I can chance it, I'll wait until Sunday to pick up a ghost trap, because I'll get that at 50% off. And then they also have the goggles out there, so if they have the goggles and they're not, and I might end up picking those up instead of trying to like make my own of those. And who knows, maybe I might pick those up and then decide to make my own anyway, because I think it looks better. I still need to get the yellow hose for the jumpsuit, the one that goes from the leg to the back of the belt. I still need to make that for the suit, and then I think the suit is pretty much completed. So yeah, it was a fun night. This is why I was so hesitant about getting the ghost pack, the proton pack in the first place. This is why, when a couple of you kept badgering, like the guy that I work with kept badgering me about getting this, I was very hesitant about getting it, because I know how my brain works. My wife says I don't half-ass anything. Like when I do something, I put my whole ass into it. And I knew that's exactly what was going to happen if I got my hands on one of these proton packs, is that I was literally going to just dive deep, head first, into this world. Luigi, when he fights ghosts, scared, but he beats them anyway. Yep, that's right. You get it? But yeah, so yeah, there's a bunch of things that I want to do yet. And then once I get to this pack is completely done and just the way that I want it, then I have one that I can 3D print, which will be cheaper, I think, than what I've spent on this one already. Because I've replaced all the electronics inside. I took out all the Spirit Halloween electronics. There's nothing original inside of there from when I purchased this. And I only purchased this like a month ago. So all of the electronics are gone. I put a stealth charging port on the outside for the battery pack that's in there, so that I don't have to open up the pack to charge it. I can just plug in the 12-volt adapter, and I can charge it as it sits. And I also added, I put a stealth volume knob in that's kind of tucked away that you're not going to necessarily notice it, so I can turn up or down the volume in this thing. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've already done to this. There's still so much more that I want to do. So it's a fun project. I can't complain. And it looks good. You know what I mean? I wore it to work today because we had a Halloween party at work today. And I mean, obviously it was immediately recognizable. Even without wearing the pack, people immediately recognized the uniform. And a lot of people were asking me questions about the pack, and did I make this thing? Did I build this thing myself? And I'm like, well, not completely 100%. There's a base part that I purchased, and then I've just been stacking my own stuff on top of that, and making it my own. And it's fun. It's good. But yeah, so here we are. The stream is up and running. with some minor issues. Things I gotta fix. I don't have the zoom and follow mouse thing working right now. I'm lucky that I got... oh, what were the two things that were missing that I needed to fix? There was something. I gotta fix the font over here. That should be pretty easy. Gotta make sure that I'm able to hear the audio stuff when it goes off. Especially my assistant. The fact that I can't hear my assistant kind of worries me a little bit. Let me see here. Is that because... oh, there's no output device chosen. Maybe that's why I can't hear my assistant. That might be why I can't hear the assistant. Which is fine. That's supposed to go to there. That's all application default. Verbot is application default. Yeah. But anyway, so here we are. Computer died. Forced me to upgrade it. Now I'm running Windows 11. I'm at least happy for that part. Because then I don't have to worry about... like, I had already enrolled... if you're running a Windows 10 machine, don't fret 100%. You can still run it. There is, if you go into your Windows updates, and if it talks about Windows 11 in there, you can enroll in a program that will allow you for the next year to still continue to receive updates, critical updates and patches from Microsoft for your Windows 10 machine, but it only lasts the next year. So that gives you a little bit of a year leeway. As long as you have a Microsoft account associated with your computer. So like you initially logged into your computer with a Microsoft account, or you can create one, then you can get it for free. Otherwise, it costs you $30 for the year. So if you have a Windows 10 machine, don't fret. It can still be used. It's still functional. It'll still work. Enroll in the service from Microsoft to keep the updates coming. Okay, because you don't want your machine to not receive a critical update and then some vulnerability occurs and something really borks your machine, and then you are forced to have to go out and upgrade. So make sure that you enroll in that, or if you can upgrade your Windows to Windows, or your computer to Windows 11, just do it. When I've been working on Windows 11 at work now for the past like 10 months, 11 months, something like that. Windows 11 is not terrible. I upgraded all my servers that I have to Windows 11. They're all good. They're all up and functional and running just fine. This machine now is Windows 11. So, I mean, just if you can do it, just get it done. If you can't because a hardware limitation, it's basically telling you don't have something that you need in order to run Windows 11, then all right, get enrolled in the program that it'll get you the updates for the next year until you can get it replaced or upgraded, whatever. But just take care of it. Seriously. It's not that difficult. But I'm stoked in how this is running right now. And like I said, I didn't know how long of a stream I was going to do. I threw Poppy Playtime in as a game that maybe I might end up playing, but I kind of think like even with like all the walking that we did tonight for trick-or-treating with the kids, and just the fact that I've been on my feet and going since like 6:30 this morning, I think that I'm not going to have an incredibly long stream tonight. How's everybody doing, by the way? Did you go out trick-or-treating tonight? And if so, what did you dress as? And if you didn't dress, what did your kids dress as? My kids were, my oldest boy was the Thing from the Fantastic Four movie. And my youngest son was trying to be the Human Torch, could not find the right costume out at Spirit Halloween for it. They were all sold out, so he got a Mr. Fantastic costume, and he ended up running a battery-powered multicolor LED lights underneath of his outfit. It was all dots, but he turned them red, and he ran those all around his body underneath the costume to make it look like, fire coming out, or at least that's his interpretation of it. And it worked really, really well. It worked really good. And then plus his hair is all dyed like bright red color, so it already looked like his head was on fire. It was pretty ingenious. And then son-in-law came out with us, and he was just in a dinosaur jumper, pullover, hoodie footy kind of thing. It was a dinosaur, and my wife was a pirate, and I was a Ghostbuster. You dressed as a grumpy fuck with sweet layoff beard? Have you been growing it out, my friend? I know you're not allowed to have that anymore. No weird beardos. Are you? And you were a hairstylist that just got off work. That's right, Blue. She met us out there as she got off work at 7 o'clock. Trick or treat ran from like 7 to 8. Whatever happened? What happened to the frickin' days when those of us who were old farts would go out trick or treating when we were younger? I swear to God, it was like a 4-hour ordeal. I have Reese's and I'm frickin' eating it. Wait a minute, what? You have a virtual drill tomorrow since you aren't getting paid? What the fuck are you gonna do on a virtual drill? Are you supposed to march around your living room or some shit? Zoom call bright and early on duty status with a beard. You already did it? Online training. That's bullshit. Technically, trick-or-treating goes from 7 to 9 out here. It died by 8:15. God. So I remember when I was younger. First off, the costumes were terrible. If you ever see any of those videos about the Halloween from the 80s, it's all true. Every single bit of it is true. Even down to taking your candy to the emergency room to be x-rayed. It's all true. Okay? I'm not lying about that. So we would get those hot plastic vinyl costumes. Trash bags, basically, with some kind of thing printed on it, just in case you couldn't tell by the terrible mask that you were wearing what you were supposed to be. It was normally printed on the front of the costume. And then those hard plastic masks with the little beady eyes, and if you were lucky, you had a mouth slit, because otherwise it was just 2 holes where your nose was, and that's what you had to breathe in the entire time. And it was held by a freaking chintzy-ass rubber band, practically, or like a used hair tie that was stapled to both sides of the mask, right? So you ended up, you know, either cutting your lips or tongue, because let's be honest, if you had a little mouth slit, you were sticking your tongue through it most of the time. So you ended up cutting yourself there, and plus you'd sweat profusely in this entire getup. So there would be, I remember when I was younger, going trick-or-treating, my parents would get together with other parents. There would be like 12 or 15 of us kids walking around, and like we wouldn't just do our little neighborhood. No, we would do like the greater Brooklyn borough area is what we would walk in a single night. I swear to God. It felt like we walked for 4 hours. We used to have to take pillowcases. There was no little pumpkin that you put your loot in. We took a freaking pillowcase and filled like half to 3/4 of the pillowcase with freaking candy. It was amazing. I've never seen so much candy before in my entire life. This may be part of the reason why I have diabetes. The pillowcases carried more. Hell yeah, it did. Hell yeah, it did. Plus, you could sling it over your shoulder. But the 12, 15 of us kids, we would all get together and we would just walk from house to house, neighborhood to neighborhood, just kept going. The parents would be 20, 30 feet behind us, right? And I swear to God, half of them were drinking something. I mean, seriously. It was the 80s. They were lucky they remembered they had kids. They were all drinking something. But we would just walk along, going house to house. Every house was like freaking lit up. So everybody was handing out candy. There was a really great, you know, like the porch sitters that looked like a scarecrow or something, or it looked like it was, you know, a decoration, and it ended up being a real person. It made you shit yourself with fear because he jumped up and scared you just as you reached in and grabbed for candy. But we would go for hours, and it didn't start until like 8 o'clock at night when it was already dark. Like, they didn't give a shit in the 80s. They're like, we're gonna send our kids out in the dark and let them be out there for 4 hours so it's darker when they're coming home. So we would be out there for hours at a time, trick-or-treating, right? And then couldn't touch a single piece of candy. Not even the tiniest little thing until everything was super inspected, because our parents were convinced that there were razor blades or needles or pieces of glass or drugs in our candy. Because I don't know, like, so there's the urban legend that some kid bit into an apple and there were razor blades in there, or some kid just took an immediate munch into a Snickers and there was like a needle or something that pierced their cheek or something. There was an urban we didn't have the internet back then, but yet these urban legends like sprung up everywhere across the United States. So we had to have our parents like thoroughly inspect all of our candy. And we couldn't, if there was the slightest little tear in a wrapper or something that might look like a puncture hole from a needle, it got thrown out. And I know of a friend of, well, not a friend per se, it was a classmate of mine whose parents, the local hospital was running a service where you could stop by on Halloween night and they could x-ray your candy real fast and quick, the whole lump of it all in one shot, and you could find out right then and there if there was, I don't know if it cost anything or not, probably did. It was probably like, you know, a $25 fee or something like that for them to run an x-ray on your candy. But they would x-ray your candy to make sure that there was nothing inside of it, no metal, no razors, no nothing like that. And then it was okay for you to, and I know of a kid in my class, in like my fourth or fifth grade class or something like that, whose parents did that like every year because they didn't want to sit there and have to manually go through the candy. That took too much time and effort and, you know, concern for your kids. So they would just take them down to the hospital and have the service run. Didn't help that the evening TV news was propagating that horse shit. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Like that's probably where most of our parents heard of any of this stuff, was through the evening news. Nowadays, shit, a post on Facebook, you know, you could get a post on Facebook from somebody from across the country and get that information like instantly. But there's also the whole white van, you know, never approach a white van if you're walking by yourself on the street because they're going to snatch you up, because like apparently one kid in some rural frickin' town somewhere in Bumblefuck USA got snatched by somebody in a white van, and then ever since then white vans were, you know, never go near a white van. We had all those crime dog McGruff freaking. Do you remember the one commercial? I think I have it on my Saturday morning cartoon rotation. It is the most apocalyptic, dark commercial that I think I've ever seen McGruff ever do. Where there were these kids. There's all these kids in this playground and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, boom, they all just disappear and the bike falls over, and there's McGruff talking about, like, every 6 seconds in America, a child is snatched and blah, 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 and it's like, holy shit. Like, I watch that commercial now, and I'm just like, holy hell, man. It's Gruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. That's right. But there was like some serious like scare tactic propaganda going on back in the 80s. And yet they also had to release a commercial that said, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? You were McGruff in the local parade one year? No shit. That's awesome. Were you taking a bite out of crime? They don't even do those commercials anymore, I don't think. I don't think they do those at all anymore. But we had shit like that our parents were watching, and then they like took it to heart because, oh my gosh, it happened, you know, in like 3 states over. It's going to happen to my kid here in Bumblefuck nowhere. It's because parents know too much now. Yeah. You grew up in a Leo household. You're probably taking a bite out of some weird skin disease with that costume. probably not wrong. That may explain a few things, Boomer. But yeah, so we grew up with all that weird, stuff, couldn't eat a piece of candy before we got home and absolutely checked it, but they would let you roam the neighborhood and go to strangers' houses asking for candy, going up to their front doors asking for candy, and our parents had no problem with that whatsoever, but God forbid you take a bite out of your bag of candy before we get home and like x-ray it with our homemade x-ray machine to make sure that there's no razor blades or anything in it. Maybe those x-rays added radiation to the candy and that's why we're getting cancer at an alarming rate. Maybe it's why I have diabetes. Maybe. That also helped enforce the dad tax. Oh yeah, I absolutely enforce dad tax. I absolutely do. They come back, look at what I got. I'm like, all right, dad tax. I need like some Reese's or some peanut butter M&Ms or Snickers or something. Come on. I did that tonight. The kids call it phantom tax now. Oh my god, it was hilarious. These two little girls. Oh no, what happened tonight, Rhea? Can confirm? Yeah. My kid was there. I get that tax. It's like, look, I went out with you. I walked around with you. I made sure you were safe. Pay me. One comes up, grabs a Reese's. The other one comes up, grabs an Almond Joy. The one that grabs the Almond Joys go, I don't like Reese's. You don't like Reese's? What is wrong with your parents? Almond Joy, did they lose a bet? The other one stops, looks at her friends, and goes, I think that's illegal. I don't like Reese's. I think that's illegal. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, I am not a fan of Almond Joy, but there again, I don't like the taste and consistency of coconut. That is not a thing I enjoy. In PA, not liking Reese's should be illegal. Yeah, seriously. Like, don't we fucking manufacture that shit here? Like, seriously. Who the hell doesn't like Reese's? Unless you got a peanut allergy and you physically can't eat it without dying. That's the only pass you get. Your brother hates peanut butter. You would have disowned him. But he gave me all of his Reese's. So, my youngest son didn't like Reese's. And I've asked him for years, what the hell's wrong with you? Didn't I raise you right? And so that was the bonus then, at least, is anytime that he got Reese's, I got the Reese's. And I'm like, oh, this, you know what? Go ahead. Don't like Reese's. That's fine by me. Because I get all the Reese's. This year, he walks up to me. He's like, I'm going to blow your mind with something. And I'm like, what? He opens up a Reese's cup and pops it in his mouth and eats it. I'm like, what did I do to you? Why do you not like me anymore? Did I say something to you? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't get your Reese's now. What the hell, man? Also, don't harsh too much on Bumblefuck Nowhere. Anyone outside of Philly or Pitts is in Bumblefuck Nowhere to the most of the country. Yeah, I know. I live in Bumblefuck Nowhere. I'm aware of this. I moved from Baltimore City, which was a known city, to Bumblefuck Nowhere, Pennsylvania. I think we found the communist kid. Ship him out. He can go to Canada. I like peanut butter cups, but Reese's has that chalky peanut butter. So, Reese's Pieces, well, I don't know. I kind of grew up on Reese's. There was even the Reese's peanut butter. I think they still make that, don't they? Like a jar of Reese's peanut butter. Oh my god. I used to eat that stuff by the spoonful. Like literally. That's some good stuff. Off to the gulag. Yeah, off to the gulag with you. Communist kid. Who the hell is like Reese's? The hell? And you take an Almond Joy in place of it. Reese's Pieces, aka ET food. They slap. Yeah, they do. The thing I love doing, or I used to do with Reese's Pieces, is I would take a handful of that shit, as much as I could fit into my mouth at one time, right? So it was probably like 12 pieces or so of Reese's Pieces. Just pop all that in your mouth, and you just let it sit in there until all the chocolate coating melts off of every single one of those Reese's Pieces, and then you just get this big glob of Reese's peanut butter left behind, and oh my god, that's the best. Bumblefuck know where half the town trick-or-treats the Tuesday before, the other half on Halloween. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So there was, that sounds awesome. Yeah, it freaking is awesome. Like, just do that next time. Next time you get Reese's Pieces, just put them all in your mouth. And then just let the chocolate melt off and you get this glob of peanut butter. It's amazing. You can feel your kidneys and peckers. I can feel I can feel me getting second diabetes. Blue's kids getting 2 trick-or-treats. What the fuck? Yeah, no, my kids do get 2 trick-or-treats right now. Since we moved, our town proper does trick-or-treating the Tuesday before Halloween. And there's like there was a reason for it. Like way back in like, I don't know, 180 fucking whatever. They would like do trick-or-treating like the kids would do trick-or-treating like the entire month. So they nailed it down to like a single day. And then it conflicted a bunch of times because they would do it they tried doing it on Halloween. But this ended up conflicting with the JC's parade a number of times. So then they decided to do it whatever the Tuesday before Halloween was, that's when they would do it, because then they would have the JC parade the Thursday before Halloween. So there was no conflicting possibility. Meanwhile, a couple of townships outside of our town proper here is like, fuck you, we're going to celebrate it on the actual freaking day like you're supposed to. So where we moved to, they celebrate it on Halloween night like you're supposed to. So my kids do trick-or-treating at their mom's or sister's on the Tuesday before Halloween, and then they come over to us and we go across to the giant neighborhood that's on the other side of the street from us, basically, where all the really nice houses are. There's a reason why we go back there. And plus there's a house that always does up like Halloween like awesomely. Like it's an amazing house back there. It's really good. But anyway, so we'll do that on Halloween night. So my kids get two trick-or-treats. It's amazing. Why do we have youth obesity diabetes epidemic? Yeah, I know, right? I went from regular diabetes to ultra, just to high test shit. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Not at all. The trunk or treat bullshit, I cannot stand that stuff. I cannot stand, I don't care if you like it or not. I'm sorry if you do. But I cannot stand trunk or treat bullshit. That is the dumbest shit that I have ever witnessed, is trunk or treat. Like, you go to a fucking parking lot where everybody, I feel like you're doing like some shady back alley deals out of your trunk. You know, like back in the 80s, I got these Cabbage Patch Kids. You want these Cabbage Patch Kids? There's like knockoff, instead of Charles Xavier on their ass, it's like Charles Zebra. Chuck Zebra on their ass is the signature. Like, I cannot stand trunk or treat. Whoever came up with the concept of trunk or treat is dumb. It's dumb. It's about as bad as the mall. So, equivalent from my childhood was mall trick-or-treating, where you would go to the mall and you would be in a line going from store to store to store, where the employees of the store then were handing out candy in front of their store. Or sometimes you got coupons for the store or some other weird bullshit. Like, that's just as bad as like, that's what I had when I was younger, and I felt that was dumb as hell, because number one, you're standing in this long ass line that just wraps around the mall. The only benefit was that you were indoors and you didn't have to stand outside in the rain or the wind or the cold or anything like that, like you were inside. That's the only benefit. But this trunk or treat bullshit, no man, I can't stand it. Not celebrating on the 31st should be considered heresy. I know, seriously. Like, what? It's Halloween. Trunk or treat is for cowards and coward children. Mall truck or treating could be cool if it wasn't shitty. Yeah, right? Could you imagine? No, you know what should be done now? Any of those, like, abandoned malls absolutely should set up for trick or treating. But do it creepy as hell. And, like, don't even supply power to the damn place. Just let the kids wander around in the darkness. I think that would be great. Like, You know, it's not even the storefronts is where the candy is. Sometimes you got to go into like the back hallways that go between the stores. And that's where the real candy's kept. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. That'd be so good. I'm still thoroughly convinced that they need to take old dilapidated malls and turn it into like, you know, old fogies homes for us Gen Xers as we get older. Set me up in a toy store. You know what I mean? There's an arcade nearby. Most malls have a movie theater. There's a food court. Like, it's got all the amenities that you're going to need when you know get old and can't take care of yourself or don't want to be left at home alone. And then plus you have the whole social aspect of like other people, you know, other people your age living in that same community. So you're getting exposed to like, you know, friends of yours basically. Like, come on. Do that for the teenagers. You want to trick or treat, you got to earn it. Freaking right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I guess for like the younger kids, an abandoned mall trick or treating would be freaky as hell. That could be a problem. But for the teenagers, the ones who want to cause a ruckus and bullshit, well, actually, no. Look, here's what I say about teenagers on trick or treat, okay? I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're my age. You come to my door in a full costume, like something that's more than like your football jersey from high school. If you come in a costume, I don't care how old you are, you're gonna get candy. That's how I feel. Because why does it just have to be for kids? If you put the effort in to put a costume on, you should absolutely get some candy and enjoy yourself. Why not? Bring back arcades. Oh my God, I want arcades back so bad. That's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about like getting into restoring our old arcade cabinets. It's because I miss arcades. I really do. I miss arcades so much. The mall arcades were amazing. The ocean arcades, like the ocean boardwalk arcades, were amazing, and they don't have those anymore. Childhood Mall, one of the cornerstones of what made the city an actual city, got torn down this year. Aww, that sucks. I'm surprised they haven't torn down ours in our town, because it should be torn down. Next year, you're going to set up a bar in your carport and have candy for the kids, Jello shots, and beer for the parents. Hell yes. I don't know if that would be good, though, having a bunch of sloshed parents walking around the neighborhood as their kids, like, get candy from strangers. I don't know how good that actually is. When you were 15, you were trick-or-treating and had jawbreakers pelted at you by a teenage girl handing out candy. Now, once my kids are definitely... Well, so my oldest didn't think he was going to do trick-or-treating this year. My youngest wanted to still. Now, we're talking 17, 16 years old, okay? That's what I mean by oldest and youngest. Well, my oldest is 25. That's my oldest. But of the ones I'm still responsible for and still live with me, that's my oldest didn't want to do trick-or-treating initially. Until he got his Thing costume, and he's like, Dad, the world needs to see this thing. And I'm like, so you want to do trick-or-treating? And he's like, yeah, I think I do. I was like, all right, come on, that's no problem. So at some point in time, I know my kids aren't going to do trick-or-treating anymore, right? I understand this. I know it's coming. This might be the last year that I have my oldest son out for actual trick-or-treating. And I might have one more good year, maybe two with my youngest. Who knows, right? But at some point in time, I know my kids aren't going to trick-or-treat. So I'm going to be handing out candy then, which is what I'm going to, I'll get dressed up and I'll hand out candy. And that's going to be my mentality. You show up to my door in a costume that is more than a t-shirt with ghost written in front of it, or, some lame-ass bullshit. If you come in a costume, I don't care how old you are, you're going to get candy. That's my mentality. TikTok has a shitload of arcade repair resto content. I know they do. So does YouTube, and I've gone down that rabbit hole. And it looks enjoyable. It looks really enjoyable to me to go through and like repair old arcade cabinets and whatnot. Wouldn't be the first one in the neighborhood. It's a relatively mellow, quiet neighborhood. Had tons of people with those smokeless fire pits in their driveway tonight. Yeah, we saw a couple of fire pits tonight because the wind. Holy cow! Around where we're at, it got super windy, like super windy, and that just dropped the temperature, and it made it for like a really rough night for walking around trick-or-treating. Like, we did not stay out nearly as long as we normally do. You grilled burgers? Nice. We gave candy to our Domino's driver. Awesome. See, that's what you need to do. You gotta do that. You gotta surprise people, make them smile, make them remember, hey, this was a fun thing when I was younger. It can still be a fun thing now. Why not? Seem really happy about it. Yeah. There's one that works like a D&B. He fixes random shit. Work over Wednesdays. Yeah, I want to get to the point where like I could buy like an old cabinet for a couple $100 or whatever. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the prices of a arcade cabinet are going at these days. And then repair it, restore it back to its former glory, and then I want to set that shit up. And our idea, well, my idea is, because especially I was told by my wife, by my lovely wife, I was definitely told that I can't have those kind of things in the house and they're running all the time because that would annoy the hell out of her. And that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I get that. So the plan is that at some point in time we would like to build a detached 2-car garage, right? I want to move this studio up to the 2-car garage on top of it, right? And the idea would be the back wall of the studio would be an arcade. There would also be a corner where there's going to be paneling, a old 70s recliner, and a floor console TV that has been retrofitted so that I can watch my cartoons instead of watching it up on the big screen TV that I watch it in the rec room right now. I want to watch it on an I want to watch it on an old floor model console TV. That's how I want to watch my Saturday morning cartoons. So that's the plan, is to make a little Saturday morning cartoon corner filled with all kinds of 80s references and whatnot, and an actual console TV sitting there that I can watch my cartoons on while all of you watch the cartoons on your screen. That's what I want to end up doing. Having a good chat. I am a third hour into the stream. What? A third hour? We're a third hour into the stream? I've actually only been streaming for like an hour and 20. By the way, welcome, Crockett. How are you doing, my friend? Get the leg lamp. Get the leg lamp. Has a leg lamp sitting behind me. Have some like old retro like Nintendo Power posters hanging up. I don't know, like some 80s hair bands or something like that. Basically, I want to make an 80s corner, and then that's, you know... Oh, 1 1/3. Okay, got it. Basically, like, make an 80s corner. But I want that console TV, that big, heavy-ass, you know, the one where it turns on, it goes, boom. Like, you know it's radioactive at that point in time. You know getting close to that sucker and licking the TV screen is going to, like, light all your hair up. That's what I want to end up doing. Having the stream room up above the garage, all the arcades in there. And the plan is to have, like, my friends come over, anybody who wants to, come over and play arcade games. And I would have a jar of, like, quarters, because I want them all to be quarters, too. I don't want any of this free play bullshit. I don't want any of this card swiping bullshit. I want you to use real quarters. And I'll have a jar of quarters there that you could take from if you want to play. Or I'll also have a change machine there if you'd like to donate to the cause. And you could change out your dollar bills and your $5 bills for quarters. And that's your donation. So that's my plan. That's what I'd like to do. Have a legit change machine there, and a jar of quarters for those who don't want to donate but still want to play. Can you pull up? Of course, why not? And run like my own little like mini arcade out of my garage. That's what I want to do. I think that would be fun. And then that money that you're donating would go towards getting new arcade cabinets or parts to repair the ones that I do have. That's what I eventually want to do. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, like especially after I retire in like 15 years. You'll help build? There we go. So yeah, after I like retire in 15 years or whatever, this gives me something to do. So I'm not bugging my wife the entire time. Because you know that'll happen, right? She told me, she's like, if you retire first, you need to find a hobby. Because I don't want you bugging me the entire time that I'm still working. And I'm like, look, can't help it. If I can, and I told her, I said, I want to, if we could swing it to where I can retire at 62, right? Which is like another 12 years from now. If I could retire at 62, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be working into my 70s, you know, full time and not being able to enjoy myself. I want to retire as early as I possibly can and then enjoy myself and do all the things that I want to do. Or all the things that I think I'll have time for. Because let's be honest, time management, like, I'm not great at time management. I always think things are going to take less time than what they actually do. So, yeah. But that's the plan. So, Boomer was dressed as a grumpy old furloughed man. What was everybody else dressed up as for Halloween this year? You can see what I'm dressed up as, obviously. Steven says verbal. But what were you dressed up as? Did you go out tonight? Or were you like our proper town and like they celebrate the Tuesday before? You were a corpse? Yeti, you were a corpse? A construction worker. Oh, you took a nap. Red Notzer was a construction worker. I feel like that's your job. That's not so much of a costume. That's your job. Do you not understand what your job is? No. The 1 year I finally got my kids, because I got the three. I got the two boys and a girl. Finally got my kids to do the costume, the group costume I have been longing for them to do for years, which was Lock, Shock, and Barrel from Nightmare Before Christmas. So the 1 year, I guess it was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years tops, I finally convinced them, because we found all of the masks that year, and I finally convinced them to do Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and it made my geeky little heart all kinds of happy. So now I'm trying to think, like, what other group costumes can I get my kids involved into? They could do Minions. They could be Minions 1 year. Oh my god, that would be amazing. I could dress up as Gru, and they could be my Minions. Because I love the Minions. I love Despicable Me. I absolutely love Despicable Me. And I love the Minions. I think they're great. I have a couple of them hidden around the room. Minions that my kids were getting rid of. They were throwing away, and I'm like, I'm going to take that, and it's going to go in my room. But I could dress up as Gru. And they could be my Minions. Oh, I gotta work on this. How do I convince my kids to do this? That could be amazing. Bald cap, big pointy frickin' nose. Hell yeah. Let's see the whole outfit. Well, I took off the pack. So here's the pack, right? The whole Alice frame and everything. That's the pack. And then, that's the outfit. Complete with gloves, belt fobs, and the all-important no ghost patch. And my name. That's always good. I gotta wear the pack, it's too cool. I can put it back on again. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'll put it back on for you. I gotta be careful though. I gotta put it on the right way or I mess up my shoulder. There you go. Whole pack. And the best part about this pack, is that it turns on. It turns on and it turns off. Yeah. So, pretty sure Verbal's a real Ghostbuster. I had some guy tonight tell me, he's like, you gotta come back next year. We want to see butane coming out of the front of that thing. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, big flame and butane. Like, I'm not sure that's how that works. You know, this is an unlicensed nuclear accelerator, right? It's not a freaking grill. Send it. Now, the only thing, and I had an issue with this earlier, so we're going to see if I can do it this time or not. The only thing that is a problem, definitely need a license for that. It does have the hook, so if I need to, I can hang it off the belt, right? But the only problem with this, and this is why you never see them do this in the movie, is putting it back on the pack. I've only been able to successfully do this like once or twice, because I can't get the lining of it quite right. Like, I feel it, it's almost there, and then it's not there. You know what I mean? So, this is the part that, like, it's not glamorous. Let's putting this on here again. See that little piece right there? That little piece? I need to put this on that piece. So it's got to slide down over top of it. And yeah, it's like trying to plug in a USB cable, exactly. It's like 50% of the time you're going to get it wrong every time. Oh hell, you're rolling for initiative for this? 4? Yeah, that's what I feel like I got right now. I feel like I got a 4. Like, I can't even see this enough to put this on. Yeah, so that's when I take it off. That's when I hook it to the belt and I take it off and then I put it on the pack. That's why you never see them do it in the movie. Because they can't. I think they even talk about that in like one of the behind the scenes or something like that. They talk about the fact that like they could never get these re-hooked. Now, you sit there, don't fall off. I've heard of some people who have used magnets, like rare earth magnets, for the wand, so that they could just, and it'll frickin' hook right on. But I've also heard problems with that as well, like especially if you're going through like a convention with your pack, and bumping up against people and whatnot, like somebody can knock off your wand. And to be honest with you, if you've got a replacement, like if you've got a non-standard wand put on your pack, like for instance, mine's the Spengler wand that I bought, so it didn't even come with this pack. This is a more expensive wand because it's got all the fancy lights and sounds and everything else in it. You know, you're not. It's not just a cheap accessory on the pack. It's an expensive piece. So you don't want that to like popping off your pack and like falling to the ground or getting kicked or anything like that. So that's one of the downsides of the magnet, is if somebody comes up and bumps it, it's going to come right off. Or if you're like, I don't know, bouncing around or some shit like that. So your brother wants you to build a porch, and it's not going to be fun because it's going to be cool. Well, I mean, don't do it during the winter. Do it during the spring. But yeah, so working with the pack and maybe, you know, working on putting it back on the hook over time, I might get, you know, used to the setup or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But with the
Throwing
computer
flashbang.
dying and being resurrected, thank you. With the computer dying and being resurrected, I wanted to make sure that everything ran fairly well tonight, and it seems that it has, with some minor hiccups. Thanks very much, Crockett. I appreciate that. Yeah, but you got more free time now, though? Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, you could tell him, I don't want to do it in the cold. And honestly, if you're building a porch, are you pouring concrete and whatnot for the porch? Because if so, that's not going to set in the cold weather. Not well, anyway. Rather do that during the spring or summer. But yeah, I said that this was probably going to be a short stream tonight, because I just wanted to figure out, like, what is it that I need to fix still. I've got a list of things I need to fix after resurrecting this computer from the dead. So, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. This is like my most viewership since, and all I'm doing is just sitting here talking with you guys. This is crazy. I like to play video games, you know? Why don't you guys hang out when I play video games? Like, this is a Saturday morning cartoon viewership. By the way, while I have you all here, hold on. Nobody go anywhere. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. right here at this channel. Tomorrow morning, we are doing the Halloween special of Saturday morning cartoons. 9 a.m. Eastern time. So we run from 9 until noon, 3 hours of cartoons, watching all of the holiday episodes. Not holiday specials. These are holiday episodes that were in the season. And it was part of the regular season, part of the regular list of episodes. It wasn't a special. So that's what I'm like. I'm not doing it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. I'm not doing the Garfield Halloween special. These are episodes within their normal season that happen to be a Halloween episode. We're watching all of those tomorrow. Well, as many as we can. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. right here for Saturday morning cartoons. We watch 80s and 90s classic cartoons, retro commercials. It's a whole fun thing. And tomorrow is one of the 2 times a year that I don't take any requests, because I have a whole playlist for a specific reason. The other time that I do this is for Christmas. We watch Christmas episodes for Saturday morning cartoons, as close to Christmas as I can get. So tomorrow morning, I want all of you to come back, right? And watch Saturday morning cartoons with me, the Halloween edition. It'll be a lot of fun. It really will be. Yeah, I thought I was going to play something tonight, but honestly, like I said, I just kind of wanted to show. Okay, one thing I do want to do, I want to kick on the computer so that I can test the capture card, because that's the one thing I haven't tested yet. And I don't have the PlayStation in here, so I can't really test that. So give me a second here. Let me turn on the computer. We're going to test out the capture card for the computer, make sure that it all functions and whatnot. So that way I could be like, all right, I don't have to worry about the capture card because that's all set up properly. And here we go. So I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm hoping it's okay. But I haven't turned it on since I rebuilt the computer. But yeah, we're gonna watch like, you know, there's at least 2 episodes of the real Ghostbusters that are Halloween themed. I mean, you think that's a little weird with the Ghostbusters. You would think it would always be Halloween themed, but it's, you know, there's 2 very specific episodes that are Halloween themed. And then there is like, I think there's like an episode of the Smurfs that I have somewhere, and I have a bunch of Halloween episodes. I don't remember them all. You're gonna have to come and stop by and figure them out. So, all right, let me switch over to the scene and see if we can see this. Hopefully we can. Oh, nope, we cannot. We cannot. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Because I need to stop that. I need to come in here. Oh my gosh. Darkness, hello, darkness, my old friend. You consume my PC once again. Oh, that's green. Well, that's a little better. We're getting there. So let's open this up. We're getting there, okay? What the hell just happened? Oh, there we go. No, do this. Yes. Alright, so... See, this is why I wanted to test this, because I knew something wasn't right. Merge, do internal, and... that. And apply. And there's still no signal. Here, I'll bring up... Maybe I won't. I gotta fix that too. Oh, it's almost there. I can kind of see a background. Alright, so what if I do deactivate and then activate? And then select OK? We're getting there. Domo arigato, Mr. Elgato? Absolutely. This is the kind of, you know, good content that you came to watch. It's me messing around with a thing that doesn't want to work. Is it display? That's okay. And we're still not getting a signal. You know what's wrong with it? It ain't got no gas in it. Not the chat font screen like being a type. Yeah, I don't like the font in the. I have to change the font in the chat screen as well. Like that's got to get fixed because that ain't right either. I only have one capture card. So something's got to work here. I just can't remember what I had it set up with before. Well, shoot. I might have to troubleshoot this a little bit later. Bypass. Same as input. Do internal. Apply. And maybe we get a picture? Maybe we don't? Definitely not. Alright. Well, I will have to work on that later. Because that is not functioning right now at all. Like, is the computer still up and running? It is, but it's... Why is it so huge? That's what she said! That's what she said! I don't know why my camera didn't pop up either. That's something else I gotta fix. No, it isn't. Nope, that's not what she said. Video input... merged, maybe? That's why your knees hurt? Yeah, I know. Alright, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this later. I don't know why that isn't working. So I will troubleshoot that later, but at least I know it's not functioning and I need to fix it. So I'm going to look into that. What if there's a driver update I need to do? There might be a driver I have to install. I would think that the software would include the most current driver, but it might not be. So it's fine. It's good. It's what, you know, it's I'm expecting these problems at this point. Like, these are problems I am expecting. So I'm not shocked at this point. I don't think 1080p is going to make a difference. Well, in any case, I will figure this out. I will get this up and running because it will suck if I can't, like, you know, bring up my PC or my PlayStation and be able to play those things here. That would be a really bad thing. It's on the right input, too, so it's got the right input. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Join me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., right here on this channel, where we're going to do Saturday morning cartoons. Stop on by. It's the Halloween edition. And I might do some other test streaming this weekend. I'm not 100% sure yet. You think it's Boomer's tradition to play Balatro while watching Verbal? It might be. It might be. I don't know why I can't hear Verbot either right now, which is kind of concerning that I can't hear Verbot. I should be able to hear Verbot when he speaks. So that is a concern as well. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get Verbot to say something. Application default. You're building a steel factory? You're on a Royal Flush build? Ha ha ha. Let's see. Verbot 9000. Say something. Oh, it might help if I actually spell Verbot correctly, not Verbat. Chaos with the 16-month resub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Is he even, like, saying something like...
You can do it.
I can do it! See, now that it talked, but I can't get my Verbot to speak, which is kind of concerning. What is... Oh, you know what? What is my... Oh, that's what it is? No, that's not at all what it should be. This is what it should be. Maybe that's what the problem is the audio output was borked from the beginning. Well, that worked. That works. But thank you so much for joining me for this test stream as I am repairing my machine and fixing all of my problems. I do appreciate it. Again, join me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for Saturday Morning Cartoons, the Halloween edition. We're going to have some fun. I may be dressed in the same outfit. I swear to God, I've taken it off. Okay, I did not sleep in it. I didn't sleep in it. But join me for tomorrow morning for the Halloween cartoons. And possibly sometime this weekend, I might do another test stream just to test things out and make sure everything functions correctly and whatnot, especially if I got some things fixed and I want to see if there's any more problems. So thank you once again. Come back anytime. I'm always here, as long as my computer's working. And,
Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Well, I think so, Blaine, but... No, it's too stupid.
We will disguise ourselves as a cow.
Narf! That was it exactly!
I don't remember recording that one. That's a new one for me. But thank you again, everybody. Come back tomorrow morning for cartoons, and then sometime this week. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you had a great Halloween season. We're going to try to finish Poppy Playtime maybe Monday or something, so at least we can complete the game series, and then we're going to get back into some regular gaming. Back to Borderlands 4, back to some Battlefield 6, some Death Stranding. We have a bunch of games to play, so we're getting back into the normal gameplay, but we're going to finish out Poppy Playtime first before we go any further, so at least say that game is at least done with the current chapters that they have available. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Do appreciate it. Come back tomorrow, and as always, stay safe. Stay healthy. I'll see you next time.